Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 104 of my Sims Let's Play. So in the previous episode I finally got myself some Thomic bees, but there are a couple of new changes. I did play a little bit off screen, more than a little bit, I did play quite a lot off screen. So let me get you guys up to date on what's going on. So first, I did try to get all those queens, those different queens, inoculated with those new serums, with my temperature and humidity serums. Right now this one should be perfecting itself, there we go. And I tried it the first time it worked, all the bees started working, but most of them, after the first cycle, like after dying and getting a new queen, the effect got removed. Like, it just didn't stick to the next age. And it happened in like 2 bees, and then on the second cycle it happened on the extra bees, and the only bee that is still working, actually there are 2, the Ignis Queen is by default, has no problem working here, but the Aura Queen seems to still be able to hold here. I actually went through the process of inoculating those bees twice, so the Aura Queen is still the only one who is by default should not be able to work in here, but still able to, but it may change in the very near future. Also, by the way, as a result of using all those new bees, I added some barrels here. You can see for the infused propolis, for quicksilver drops, for the burning propolis, for blaze powder, and for the flowing propolis. And everything here should be changed eventually whenever I get to apply the energistics, but that may take some time. Also, and as a result of those bees not working with the inoculator, simply the modified changes do not work, I decided to start creating the Alvearies. So you can see I'm finally down to proper amount. I already created enough of the scented paneling for 2 Alvearies, and now working on the third. The third amount for the scented panelings. And what I'm planning to do is when I build the Alvearies, one block within the Alveary is going to be, actually 2 of them are going to be, where is it? The Alveary fan, the Alveary heater, and the Alveary hygro regulator. I think the fan makes the Alveary cooler, the heater makes it hotter, although this is probably not necessary, and the hygro regulator should be modifying the humidity inside the Alveary. And the problem here basically is most of the bees, this area is too hot for them and too humid for them, so I need to make it cooler and a little bit more dry. Apart from that, there is kind of a large error I made and I didn't know. So the way I first placed those blue electric engines here, I placed one redstone torch and alloy wire all along. Now alloy wire, what it does is actually power the block it's standing on, and that power can transfer to additional blocks nearby. Red power battery boxes have a property that whenever they receive a redstone signal, they do not let power flow through them. And you may have seen it in previous videos that for some reason, for example, this battery was full where the other ones weren't. And that actually happened. The batteries did not let power flow through them. They only stored energy and did not let anything go through them. Now, my engines did work, and that's a fact, because only this battery box, which had a torch up on top of it instead of an alloy wire, didn't have that redstone signal and let the power flow through it. Now, the thing about red power bluetricity, that every block that requires bluetricity can also move it around, also acts as a storage and conduit unit. So basically those engines, all those 7 left engines, were basically receiving the power they needed from this one, where this one received the most power and all the excess went to this, and then this, and then this, and so on and so forth. Now, actually, when you think about it, it might not be that bad, but I think overall I did make those 8 engines to keep it kind of balanced. So this way it should remain a little bit more balanced. So that's that. Okay, so one of kind of the biggest thing that happened since is I finally started finding a little bit more quartz crystals and more dust, and it's really nice. However, I'm not gonna start building my system until I get a very nice amount of those both, probably a stack or so, because right off the bat I'm gonna go for the high-end machines and pieces of blocks that this mod can offer me. And you can see that this quarry is significantly shallower than those two, because I actually turned this off temporarily until those two quarries started reaching a reasonable height. So yeah, this took a little bit of break, but now it's working again. And I think there is only one more thing that I've changed, which is adding a lever here. So the way this lever works is only when this lever is turned on, any redstone signal coming through the receiver will actually operate. And I did this, I'm not actually, it's here, but it's actually not being used yet. Sometimes, very rarely, but still it's happening. Sometimes this quarry gets a little crazy and requires fixing. And I decided to add this little mechanism, a little bit of an input from me, to make sure that whenever I want to, I can just turn it off without breaking everything. Just if this lever is like this, any redstone signal here won't work because there is an AND gate here, which also looks for this signal. Right now it's on because I want this track to keep moving, but otherwise, if it's off, it will not. Okay, so also in all that time, I finally got a fourth high voltage solar array, so now I have 4 of those, and now I have also 5 lower ones waiting for the next high. And you can see that my mass fabricator started to be working relatively fast, and also it really the scrap is very far from actually being too much. The moment scrap goes in, it's already get rid of because there's so much energy using it. So what I was thinking, because since applied energistics requires energy to run, and I could actually use either buildcraft energy or industrial craft energy, I think what I'd like to do is actually move this entire contraption, basically using my nuclear power and lava power to get rid of all my excess mining material, to move that also in my HV solar age, so in that way that I could basically use the same solar energy that I'm collecting there to get rid of, instead of just generated cobblestone, to actually get rid of this thing. Basically my way of getting rid of all the excess cobblestone, sandstone, dirt, and gravel. So yeah, just basically I want to move this over to my other age, so I could start saving up some industrial craft energy. It may turn out to be even too much what I have right now, because overall, since whenever my 2 reactors are working, I'm generating approximately 460 EU per tick, and that's quite a bit. I don't know if my applied energistics machine is going to consume that much. However, bear in mind that the applied energistics, as long as it's running, it has no cooldown state. If it's running, and it's going to use a lot of energy. So this is why I want to start basically getting used to the fact that I'm not wasting any energy here, that I can. And since I'm planning to go for a very, and at least my plan is to go for something which is a very large applied logistics system, I probably want to make sure that I'm not using energy on anything else. I may eventually also end up using buildcraft energy as well, but yeah, I think it's time for us to get rid of this away from here. So yeah, let me get around to start doing that. Okay, so I completely took it down. You can see all the products in here. The plan is to be very simple. In my overworld, I was creating scrap boxes out of scrap to have a larger buffer instead of just scrap. It's not necessary here, so I can get rid of this entire automatic crafting system. And I can simply push all the scrap into this relay, which then takes care of it. So let's do it like this. I'm gonna have my filter here. filtering out of a recycler, of course, which is gonna be here. Now in terms of power, I'm probably gonna get myself another MFSU, which is gonna do exactly the same thing as this is doing. I don't want the same MFSU to share energy to both recyclers. I want it to be separate, to have each one have its own MFSU, giving it enough energy that it requires. So this something I'm going to take care of in a moment. Above it there will be an additional filter, which I did not bring. Okay, so that filter will be right here, filtering out of, or actually let's have a relay first. So there will be a relay here, a filter here. This one will be filtering out of the white ender chest, and it will only be filtering out half a stack of cobblestone, half a stack of gravel, half a stack of sandstone and dirt, with the priority being like this. And the only thing I still need to do is just to power those two machines, the filter and this. You can probably change something to make it look nicer. Let's steal one block of something here. Let's get one cobblestone block and place it right here. And get this timer. Get rid of this, and place this timer right here. And I'm gonna need one more random block. Let's get another one of those and place it right here, and another timer. And let's have it on that, I think it was half a second. Yeah, seems relatively reasonable. This also in half a second. Give this one the required upgrade, which are 2 transformer and 10 overclockers. And I think the only thing remaining left to be doing is just to supply it with energy. So let's do that. Here is just a quick nice tangent. While in the process of crafting my MFSU, I required quite a little different things in order to craft it. So since I'm kind of lazy and I don't really like crafting all those different things, here's something convenient. I can simply come here and steal whatever I need, which is, I don't know, it might be a little bit silly, because then again this backlog that needs to be completed right here needs to be refilled. But I don't know, I think it's convenient that whenever suddenly I need a chipset, I do have some spare, so I don't, but if I suddenly need a chipset, a machine block or anything, or some golden cables, I can just come here, steal some, it will get fixed and get refilled. So just a quick nice thing to have, since I'm having this factory all working. It's a nice thing to have. Okay, so I got that extra MFSU and some cabling. So connect this similar way, just on the same fiber cable network. I'm gonna have this MFSU like this. This one already has the transformer upgrades, so it's gonna be connected like this, and just get some energy from here, and it should start working. So now all the scrap from both mass fabricators, just instead of getting split into 2 different mass fabricators and using the same, not same, but different energy pools, this time it's all being condensed into the same mass fabricator, which then uses all of it right here. Now this MFSU needs to build up a small pool first, and while that's happening, that mass fab is getting slowed a little bit. But whenever that finishes, you'll be able to see that this gets used a lot faster, because since this one is already full and fluctuating, and also actually this one isn't. Well, anyway, now it builds up, because most of the energy, or not most, but a large portion of it is being wasted in this MFSU. Once it's full, it won't. And in theory, the rate of UU metal production is pretty much exactly the same. Well, not really. Instead of using, right here I'm generating about 2000 EU per tick, and if you include all the magmatic engines, not magmatic engine, but all the geothermals and my uranium reactor in my overworld, we're generating approximately 600, 700 EU per tick. So now I'm investing 700 less EU per tick approximately. It's possibly even more. But now I'm not investing any of this into UU matter production. Now it's only being stored, and this is the only thing that's going to be related to UU production and also UU using. So I find it to be better. Actually, I wanted to do this for quite some time, to start using only my energy production here into also having all the UU matter here. Like all the energy production here, everything related to UU matter be in this age and nothing else. How am I doing with having an additional lower voltage or medium voltage one? I'm not there yet. Yeah, taking out a stack of those things kind of created this backlog that needs to be filled up again. Copper and sticky resin and so on. Okay, so even though it's kind of hard to tell how long the trap has been running, so calculating its efficiency isn't as easy, I think I should also just let you guys know that you can take a look at what's going on since. Stack of coal, stack of full of bones, and that's full. There has been so much more that's being wasted. And close to 8 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. So I like that trap. It's working, it's awesome. Okay, so it seems that for the time being, my Aura Queen is still doing pretty good, so I'm not gonna build any Alvear for this one. So this one's just gonna remain like this. It seems to be working just fine. So let's get started on building the Alvearies. I am getting very close to completing all the impregnated casing that I need. I have enough for 2, getting very close to having enough for 3rd. It's being cooked as we are speaking. But let's actually start building what I can, which is the Alveary blocks. So I have enough for... They go by groups of 27, so that's the first 27, and that's the second 27, oops, and I'm missing 3 for the last 27, and they're being cooked at the moment. Just one more, exactly having that last wood. Now for this Alvearies I'm gonna build 3 types of blocks each. I'm gonna build a lighting, of course, because I want them to work at night. I'm gonna build them a fan, and I'm gonna build them a hydro regulator. So I'm gonna need glass iron, gold, and glowstone and more gold. So let's see, glass iron, gold iron, gold, and glowstone. Every Alveary is gonna have 1 of each, of course. So let's just quickly complete this. So the last Alveary block. Okay. Let's see which do I have right now. I have 3 iron electron tubes. Do I need the iron electron tubes? For the lighting I need golden. For the fan I need also golden. And for the hydro regulator I don't need any tube. Okay, so I'm gonna need 6 golden electron tubes. So that's gold and redstone in the thermionic fabricator. And that's good because I already have the recipe pretty much set. Can I just steal them from here? Oh, I can. Nice. Okay. Problem taken care of. So, let's see. 3 lighting. So 1, 2, 3. 3 fans. So 1, 2, 3. And 3 hydro regulators. So 1, 2, and 3. Now those machines require Buildcraft energy to run, so I'm going to need to route some of it there, and I'm going to use the same wireless network that I've been using so far, although I think I'm out of Tesseract, so I'm going to require to build some more. Am I right? I think I am. Anyway, let's just start cooking some ender pearls and we'll get used to it as we move along. Okay, I'm gonna try and build this time those Alvearies kind of underground, because I don't really like the fact that they're taking so much room on the overground. So let's figure out on how I want to do this. I think I'm gonna dig this one. Let's see, I'm gonna have not all of it completely underground. There are 3 blocks high, and then there are panels up on top. So let's build it 2 blocks deep. So the third layer is actually up on, oh, this is gonna get clogged now. Yeah, my Blizzard is gonna get clogged. Okay, you know what? Let's do something nice. Let's change. Oh, wait, it doesn't get clogged. Nice. Okay, so let's do it like this. So the bottom layer will have nothing, just normal alveary blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Second layer will also have just normal blocks, but the top layer will have the 3 special blocks, so I can tell that they are actually special. So there will be this one, or you know what, let's have it here, maybe it will probably be easier to connect. So have this one, and the fan. Lighting doesn't really matter, so let's have the lighting here, and the fan right here, and then top it off. So this, and I'm gonna need some panels. I think I have some stored panels from another project that actually accidentally made too much. Yeah, I do. I thought about using the birchwood panels. I started using birchwood for everything because I have so much of it, but it's not necessary. Okay, it should update, and there we go. Now, I don't think... Can I interact with it? It doesn't seem like it really... No. I guess they just require... They will just consume power, but you cannot interact with them. Or what? I can't interact with anything. Why can't I interact with it? Maybe it cannot be underground? I guess that's the problem. Because if it cannot be underground... Yeah, I guess that's the problem. Okay, let me dig it up and place it overground. Oh wait, I left a block hollow and I shouldn't have done that, as far as I recall correctly. In Alvearies you don't do that. So let's try it now. So complete the build and place the panels. And now it should update. Hopefully without too many problems. Okay, so I didn't know what was the problem here, so I decided to build up here the same pretty much design. Apparently, whenever the special blocks are not in the corners, it doesn't work. But yeah, now it does. Now the hydro regulator, now I see it's a bit different than I expected. Maybe I understood it wrong. Maybe it doesn't modify humidity. If it doesn't modify humidity, that's kind of bad because it's not very helpful. Yeah, let me figure out what's going on here. Okay, so after a little bit of research, yeah, the agroregulator needs to have either lava or water. Water will increase humidity but reduce the temperature, and lava will increase the temperature but reduce the humidity. Now, I just realized that using only one fan may not be enough for the temperature here, because this area is 100% warm, which means it's relatively warm, and it's also very damp. So if I want to actually make the humidity lower and insert some lava, that also means that it will get even warmer. So I'm gonna try and first assume that it will work without any more fans. Hopefully it will, but it may be changing. So let's also first get this alveary to 2 blocks deeper, so it's not as huge on the surface. Okay, so let's start experimenting. So first, let's move this item tesseract someplace else so I can have a little bit more room to change stuff. So move this, shift right clicking, and change it to be, say, right over here. I'm gonna first modify this one to be send only on the B network, and change the iron pipes to be following into this. So this one is going up and this one is going over here, and those two are remaining the same. Now let's first place the actual cocoon, for example, in here. It will say that it's an hostile environment. Let's get a Bealyzer to have a closer look at how exactly I can change that. What exactly do I need to do? So let's get the Aqua Queen out and have a quick look at it. So this one has actually nice tolerance towards humidity, although only going down, and temperature tolerance is 0. Probably this place is pretty much too hot, but I would assume that in terms of dampness, because it's requiring a damp area, the only problem is the temperature. So let's lower the temperature. So let's say this one will be a dedicated aqua alveary. So if I place it here, it says it's an hostile environment because it's a damp humidity, but it's too warm. So let's start operating the fan here. So let's see how can I going to do this. Let's connect this, for example, for now. There will be some pipings in here, so let's connect the actual energy tesseract here. This will be on extraction mode, so it's taking energy out of the energy tesseract, and this will be on the Buildcraft energy network with receiving only. Now this fan is operating, so you can see the temperature dropped to 100%, and the bee is working. It's no longer in an aggressive or a bad state. So this is kind of good. I can now actually take this hygro regulator out of here because the queen does not need any modification to the humidity. I just hope I didn't kill my queen by doing what I just did. No, it's still here. Okay. Okay, so let's continue on. Precantio queen. It's in hostile environment. Let's see what her problem is. Her problem is it's too humid, probably. Temperature tolerance is 2. It might still be a remnant of my inoculation process, but the humidity tolerance is too low. Basically, this place is too humid for it. I'm going to need to make it drier. Let's quickly get over the night first, though. Okay, so since this area is too dry, the solution for this is to place some lava in here in the hygo regulator and make this lower the humidity, because lava is hot and it makes things dry. So this is why I brought an ender tank. Now let's see, can this tank directly interact with this? Probably not. If I change this to output mode, yeah, now it does. Nice. So this will directly interact with the hygo regulator. I think, no, you can actually see the humidity just drop to 71%. It doesn't require any energy, and apparently the temperature has no problem whatsoever. So that's pretty good. I can actually take the fan out of here. So this is getting nicer. Or no, wait, actually no, it was receiving some energy. If I take the fan out, the result will probably be the moment the buffer energy goes away, temperature is going to rise. Even though this one has a very high temperature tolerance, this trait may go away eventually. But you know what, let's keep it as is for the time being, see how it goes. If it's requiring modification, it's going to receive some. So let's complete this alveary without temperature modification, and just let this ender tank supply it with lava and see how it ends up being. Let's also connect it to the actual network so things get moving. So let's see, how can I get to do this? Okay, so I got this pipe network set up. So far it seems to be doing pretty good. Just the usual wooden pipe, redstone engine, redstone torch below it, those apiarist pipes leading green and yellow back into the apiary itself with any bees filters, and basically the opposites because it's mirrored back into the network, so the bees get reproduced, and any products or excess bees, although it doesn't seem to be working, get sent into my processing unit. Now, yeah, as you just kind of slightly said it, so far I haven't managed to get any extra drones or bees or anything in those relation to the atomic bees. Now my filters should accept anything. Any type of bee that is not being filtered out into processing should find its way into here. So in theory, I would expect it to have found some Ignis bees or some of those aura bees, which are working, but it's not being the case. I guess that's intended, and I can understand why, because their crafting process is so it's not so easy, unlike other bees, which just requires some mutations. This time around, it's actually something very precise with the placement of a Stark bee or a Stark drone, with some specific aspects and everything. It's kind of it's a little bit more complicated process, so just bypassing it by simply creating more of them is something I understand why it would have been disabled. So the only kind of backdoor idea I still kind of have, but probably will not work, is trying to extract the fertility serum out of one of my more productive bees, one of more fertile strain of bees, and try to inject that into those thermic bees. However, when I think about it, I just realize that it's not that necessary. I mean, if I really wanted to do that, if I really wanted more thermic bees, I could just take more Stark bees and simply craft them. I have no shortage of aspects of any kind, so there is no problem whatsoever. Alright, so let's just, before ending the episode, I already have an apiary for the Ignis Queen, I have an apiary for the Aura Queen, I have an alveary for the Aqua, and an alveary for the Precantio. Let's just top it up by adding the alveary for the Soul, which is basically the Earth. And this one requires, let's see, so before building it, let's have a slight look in here, see what its problem is. So this one has a temperature tolerance of 2, which probably is still from the inoculation process, and the humidity tolerance of -1. And its default area should be, where does it say? Normal. Normal and normal. I think in theory I can just place it right here on those apiaries and it should work. Actually, where is it? I think in its current state, or will it not? Actually, no, I guess that area is too humid. Oh wait, it's not daytime now. Okay, there we go. So it's in hostile environment. I guess it's too humid for this bee to work on. So that means I'm going to need an additional Hydro regulator. So I'm going to build it right here. It's going to be very conveniently placed. Let's quickly replace that ender tank so I can have it looking towards where I want it to. So say facing this way with the red valve up on top. Let's quickly set up the alveary. Okay, so the alveary is set up, but since I did have some spare blocks which I've replaced in those alvearies, this one is composed out of one hydro regulator, a second one right over there, and actually 2 fans. Now I might not use any of them, but I don't have any other choice because I used all my other normal alveary blocks, and you have to simply build some sort of an alveary block, and it seems to be doing very much fine at the current state, that only this hydro regulator is being powered and doing anything for the alveary, but everything else, those fans and the second alveary regulator, what's this? Haste? Oh, mining haste. Oh, I guess that's the special effect that this bee has, the mining buff. Yeah, nice, I guess you mine faster. Although the fact that she's right here, the queen is right here, it's not very helpful. I'm not gonna mine here. Alright, so just let's connect it to the bee network. So quickly do this. I'm gonna do this even on screen. So the redstone torch at the bottom, an engine layer above, a wooden pipe here, an apiarist pipe here. I'm already getting some things, and this golden pipe right here, and modified in the following way, that green is any bees and yellow is anything. And there you go. So now I also have my earth bee working without any problem. My Precantio queen is working, my Aqua queen is working, my Ignis queen is working, and my Aura queen is working. And I'm gonna keep a close eye on them in case they suddenly lose any of those traits they gain through inoculation, like the temperature tolerance or the humidity tolerance, which let them work in the current state of things, but if they suddenly lose it in one of the generations, they're going to be required to be, something's going to need to be modified. But at the current state of things, it's actually very, very convenient that I need power for only this thing, and liquid for exactly those two things, which are placed so nicely close together, and this ender tank does an awesome job filling them up. And finally, also, I have an actual use for the lava except for more industrial craft energy or feeding the actual netherrack quarry. Alright, so was looking into some more advanced Alveary blocks and advanced Alvearies overall. Yeah, I'm still looking for the quartz. I really hope to actually start the Applied Energistics project by the next episode, see how that pans out to be. And until then, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.